Jai Shri Krishna. All of us humans are filled with faults, right? We don't want to accept that we are filled with fault, but our mind is such that it's always looking for fault instead of within itself in other people. We always look fault outside because without Gyan, we are always Bahirmukhi. We are not Antarmukhi. We cannot see within. But we should not think, even for a moment, that compared to others, we are without faults or with less faults. Ishwar knows all of our faults. Why does he know all our faults? Because he can see our man. Okay? Because all the faults originate in man, in mind. And they are stored there. And they surface again over and over again. Once Bhagwan Sri Chakradhar told his disciple that if I told you all your faults, you will take a knife and kill yourself. Because you will feel so bad that you have so many faults. So our mind is such, it just don't want to think about the faults. Not knowing one's fault is also become our means of survival. So Ishwar, knowing our fault, chooses to ignore them. Because Ishwar is faultless, is perfect. The one who is perfect doesn't look for imperfections. So he ignores our faults. Nobody else would. When any of us look up to him and take refuge in him, he removes all of our faults slowly. The faults are dosh, we call them dosh. One by one he removes them, like this, the person, the sword repairman we talked about before, who in many steps cleans the rusty sword without breaking it. Thus in Shlok 8, Sri Bhagavan tells Arjun to put his mind and buddhi in him, and thus you will reside in me. Bhagavan Sri Chakradhar once told his disciple Sadha that Jeev always looks downwards. However, if anyone looks up, I pull him up right away to me. This is what is in Shlok 7. Tesha maham samudharta mrityu sansar sagarat. Those who are floating in this mortal sansar, if any one of them look up to me, Bhagavan says, I pick them up without delay. Once disciples of Bhagavan Sri Chakradhar asked him that all of us do your dhyan each morning. What you are thinking at that time? Fair question. Bhagavan said that I look at every Jeev at that time, which is Brahm Muhurt, to see who is looking up. If anybody is looking up, I just want to pick him up. Those who look up and come to the path of Ishwar, Ishwar keeps them from falling. Once you come on that path, you cannot fall. It's called Achyut path, Marg. Means you don't fall from it. This is his kripa. He doesn't let us fall from there. So those of us who are desirous of moksha need to earn Ishwar Kripa through prayers to Ishwar. Imagine that someone is in a boat, small dinghy, alone in the ocean. He sees a storm approaching and his boat wanders away. Can you imagine that? He sees no one around except dark clouds. There's darkness all around. He is all alone in the middle of the ocean. He looks above. Bhagavan says, I help him and pick him up out of the danger, just like you pick somebody up with a thread. He picks him up. Bhagavan only knows how he does it. Nobody else knows how he picks him up from the danger. So we are all in this ocean of sansar. There's darkness all around. It's our illusion that we think that we are sukhi, but nobody is sukhi. And if you see in Sanskrit shlok, they'll always say dukh sukh. They first say dukh, then sukh. Why is that? Did you ever think about it? They don't say sukh dukh, they say dukh sukh. There's a reason for that is that in sansar you have to get some dukh in order to get a little bit of sukh. You have to work hard and then you may get something out of it. Without working, you get nothing. Work is like dukh. Nobody likes doing that. But so it's difficult. So, and also Devta also gives its phal. He first gives the dukh part and then gives the sukh part. And that's the rule of law here. So that's why you'll see in all shlok they'll say dukh sukh. Bhagavan Shri Chakradhar told his disciple Sada that even if someone connects with me using a breakable thread, kacha dhaga, I reel him up to me. Although the path of Ishwar Bhakti is difficult, as described in Shlok 5 by Bhagavan Krishna, Bhagavan says, those who do my bhakti with the ananya bhav, the key word is ananya bhav, I pick them up from this ocean called the mortal world. Therefore, Bhagavan instructs Arjuna to devote his mind and buddhi to him. Now, Bhagavan tells the way to do the Ananya Bhakti.
अथ चित्तं समाधातुं न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम् अभ्यासयोगेन ततो मामिच्छाप्तुं धनञ्जय.
Ath, if you, nasaknoshi, are not able to samadhatum, establish or fix chit mai sthiram, thy mind steadily on me, because you are tied up in many responsibilities from which you are unable to break loose in sansar. Tat, then Dhananjay, O Arjun, ma aptu ich, you seek to reach me. Abhyas yogin, through the Abhyas Yoga. So first, Bhagavan said that you should put your man and buddhi into me. But if you cannot do that, then he gives another way out. Says, practice Abhyas Yoga. So you did not get the means of prem with which you would have naturally established your mind is steady on me. Instead, you guard the path of Jnana, which is difficult path. Then, with this means, you practice the Abhyas Yoga. It is like someone got so much inheritance that he need not do anything in their life. That is a prem sadhana. You don't have to do anything. Everything happens for him. However, most of us must work hard all our life, as in the Gyan sadhana. So in Gyan Marg, you have to work hard all your life. The Jnani has to earn. So if you are unable to fix your chit in me, then Bhagavan said, you should try to get me through the Abhyas Yoga. The Jnani does the Abhyas Yoga based on the Jnana. Without Jnana, you cannot do Abhyas Yoga. So what is Abhyas Yoga? Here Bhagavan does not mean Yoga Abhyas. Like like Yoga Shastra. That's not what he means here. Here, instead of Yoga Abhyas, is Abhyas Yoga. Abhyas Yoga means yoga through Abhyas or practice. Yoga with Paramatma. Yoga with Abhyas. Through Abhyas. Here, Abhyas means listening to, discussing and thinking, doing manan, of the name and gun of Parmeshwar. Naam Jap. And you have to do repeatedly. So repeatedly reading and discussing the Shastra. Instead of reading a novel or something else, read Shastra, which has Ishwar words in it. And doing the Naam Jap with each breath is called Abhyas. So how do you do the Naam Jap? You have to do with each breath. Okay? When you are breathing in, you say Naam. When you are breathing out, you say. That is Abhyas. That way, in the end, when the pran goes out, Naam will come automatically with it. It's not that sitting there and doing mala. No. You have to do with each breath. It's difficult, but by doing Abhyas practice, one can do that. And why it is so important? Because that Naam is most important thing there is. Why? Because it has a Paravacha Shakti. And that Paravacha takes the pran out to where Ishwar. Because that Vacha is Ishwar Vacha. You understand now? Not the Murti, not Paramatma. It's the Naam which is important. Not Nami, Naam. So if unable to fix your chit in me, then do the Abhyas Yoga every day, routinely. It's not like I did today, well, I don't feel like doing tomorrow, I just have to go to a party or something, so I just skip it. No, that's not what it means. That's not Abhyas. Next, Bhagavan says,
अभ्यासेऽप्यसमर्थोऽसि मत्कर्म परमो भव मदर्थमपि कर्माणि कुर्वन् सिद्धिमवाप्स्यसि.
now the Abhyas is such a thing that it must be practiced constantly. Okay? That's important. Why it is so important? Because you're taking breath constantly. And you don't know which breath pran is going to go out. Understand? We don't know. When the breath going out never come in. So it has to be done constantly, steadily. And you have to do following certain rules of practice. This may not be possible for some people. So, for them, Bhagavan is telling what they can do. He says, if thou art unable to practice abhyas, then what shall you do? We come to third way out. Mat karma paramo bhava. Thou be intent on doing karma for me. Because first was dhyan. Put your dhyan into me. Cannot do that? Do abhyas yoga. Cannot do that? He says, do karma for me. You shall mold yourself so that all your karma is devoid of any selfish motive, and you shall accept only Parameshwar as your support and gati. You don't want any support from anything else. Only help you need is from Parameshwar, and do karma for him. Because for doing any karma, you will need energy, you will need support, you will need all kind of things to do karma with. So depend for all those things only on Parameshwar, not on sansaric people. That would be wrong karma. That won't be karma for him then. When you do karma for Ishwar, you do with everything that Ishwar can give you. Right? Because you don't have anything of your own. So to do any karma, like you're gonna do some puja, right? So you have to depend on whatever Ishwar has given you to use that to do the puja. Not looking for somebody else handout to do this and do a puja. No. So, and like a pativrata performs all karma with mind, speech and body, you do it for Parameshwar like that. You have your mind in it, your speech in it, and your physical action. This has been said in all the religions. Buddhist has said the same thing. Christianity, Hindu, Jain, in all religions it has been said. The Christian monks living in monasteries did the same in old days. They lived for their Lord, did everything for the Lord. Right? Christians are very, very devout in doing that. Do for their Lord. Because they are taught the Lord is going to save them. Here Bhagavan Krishna, our Lord, the Supreme Lord, the Lord of the Lords. And He says He'll save you. Yet, we don't want to believe. That is our misfortune. See? That's because from childhood we are not taught that way. Christians are taught that way from childhood. And that becomes their way of life. So, Bhagavan is saying that if you are unable to practice abhyas, wherever you are, then go to ashram. Now, if you cannot do it, then go to ashrams. And there, do work for me. You go for a week and do seva. Mat karmo paramam bhava. Perform every karma for me. What will be the result of this? Madarpi karmani kurvan siddhi mavapasi. Thou shalt get siddhi even while performing the karma for me. What is siddhi? You will get perfection. You get jnana while doing the karma for me. That's what Bhagavan is saying here. In other words, thou shalt come to me. That is the siddhi. Eventually you will go to Him. You are on the path. The fact is that karma done for Ishwar are very few. You don't do too many karma for Ishwar. Ishwar has very limited number of karma that you can do for him. And they are all good. There is nothing bad in it. So the question of doing wrong does not even occur. Right? When there is only few things you do, you have to perform, doing karma for Ishwar, and they are all good, how can you go wrong? And that's why you end up getting siddhi. Now Bhagwan makes it much easier.
अथैतदप्यशक्तोऽसि कर्तुं मद्योगमाश्रितः सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं ततः कुरु यतात्मवान्.
Now Bhagwan says, Kartu madhyogam ashrita. Performing karma for me while being totally dependent on me as described in the last shlok. Ath etat api shakto ashaktoshi. If thou art unable to do this for me, cannot even do karma for me, because to do this you will have to go and live in ashram of my sthan, go visit there, stay there, you may even live there, and you are unable to do this, then you can do the next action. Sarva karma phalatyagam tatah kuru yatatmavan. Thou art not able to leave the sansar, then while living in the sansar, you shall tactfully become, here the word is tactfully, become yatatmavan, victor over thy man and buddhi. See here, atma is man and buddhi is atma. And you control, you get into control of your man and buddhi. And it takes it a knack to do that. You have to be very tactful without disturbing anything else. Tata sarva karma phalatyagam kuru. Then do the renunciation of the fruit of all action. Now if you talk to people, everybody say, leave the fruit of action. Right? But it's not that simple. How do you leave the fruit of action? Ask them. First, because to leave the fruit of action, you have to be in control of your mind and buddhi. Other than that, you cannot leave the fruit of action. Mind will not let you do that. That's what Bhagavan said, be yatatmavan. It's a delicate thing. So you have to use a very tactful technique to control your mind and buddhi. So you can do the karma phal tyag. Bhagavan has said this in detail earlier in chapter 9, shlok 27. Yat karoshi yadasnasi yat juhoshi dadamiyat. So, yat tapasyasya kaunteya yat kurusya madarpanam. He says, Arjun, whatever you do, that means you eat, make offerings in the yagna, or give alms, or do prashchit, everything, or offering to me. An example of this is that to stay healthy, okay, this is just an example. To stay healthy, one said you must do exercise daily. Go to gym, do exercise. Right? If you cannot do this, they say, then try aerobics. You'll have some fun, you'll listen to music, do aerobics. You can at least do that. Well, you say, I just cannot do aerobics either. It's not for me. I don't have time for it. He says, well, if you are unable to do that, then try jogging. Okay? You don't take any skill, just go and jog. Get a good pair of shoes and go jogging. Well, he says, surely, he says, well, I can't do that. Then the person says, then surely you can walk. Okay? So he gave me the same thing here. If you cannot do dhyan, Bhagavan says, then you can do abhyas yoga. Cannot do abhyas, then you do karma for me. If you cannot do karma for me, then what you do? Karma phala tyaga. You can at least do that. In doing that, you already did your karma, enjoyed the karma, got the fruit, and then you say, now I give it to you. But to do that, you have to be yatatmavan. Atmavan means Atmavala, the one who has his Atma in his control. And here Atma is Man and Buddhi. However, this is the simplest of the four. Here, you need not abandon this karma. You're still doing your karma. Perform karma and distribute the fruit of the action to friends and family who need to be given to. And for the purpose of dharma, then you, however, do all this with your mind and buddhi under your control. You got the fruit of action, you earned money. Okay? You got a paycheck. Now you have wife, you got children, you got other family obligations. You give it to them from that first. Then what is left, do it for dharma in Paramatma's name. Now to give is very tricky. Even if you give to your children or wife or anybody else in your family, you shall not think that I gave that person this. Okay? That's where the control of man comes in. When you say, I gave you this yesterday, I gave you so much money, you have not given them. This is what Bhagavan says, Yat Atmavan. Train your mind and buddhi in such a way that it does not come back and say, hey, I gave you so much. When you give, it's not yours. It's gone, finished. Okay? And that's a kala. It's called an art of doing it. Thus, you will not think why you did this, why you gave this to this person. Give it and forget about it. As if you never did it. Or you could have done differently. You would not have second thoughts on this thing. You do all in the name of Parmeshwar. So this is the tricky part. When Paramatma gives us something, he doesn't come knocking on my door, tell us, hey, I gave you this yesterday. Does he? He doesn't care. He gave and gone. Finished. He is ready to give more. As much as you need. He didn't come back and establishes, oh, I did this for you. So when you're going to Paramatma, going to Ishwar, you have to train yourself to be the same way. That is why Yat Atmavan, controlling your man and buddhi, is very important. Understand now? Your mind and buddhi should not be able to come back and question your action. Controlling your mind and buddhi means after fulfilling the needs of the family and friends, whatever you do it for Parameshwar, not for yourself. What a person needs really? Nothing, not much. To stay alive, what a person needs, you got to do namja. So you have to have enough food so your prana is working. So you're breathing properly. Right? What else do you need? You need few pairs of clothes. That's it. If you go out in sansar, then you need some respectable clothes to wear so that people don't think you are a pauper or something, you know. So you just need few things, and that's how people used to live in India in old days. The clothing was very scarce in India. It used to be all imported, most of it. So people, what they used to do, they'll use the dhoti, and during the daytime in the house, they don't wear anything on the top. They have a kurta, one khadi or one cotton kurta, one is silk kurta. They're hanging on the kuti. Yeah? If they had to go outside, they put on the cotton kurta and go out. On special occasions like puja, or if you're going to funeral or something, they put on silk kurta to go there. There's a reason for that. But anyway, what I'm trying to say here, you really don't need much. You have obligation, we all have obligation for our family and friends, so fulfill them and don't even think twice about it. And then whatever you need, little you need for yourself, you use rest of Ishwar Bhakti. This way, you will not do excess. Ati nahi. You will not do ati. Ye not this that you're running for money all the time, day and night, running around. I got to do this, I got to this, I invest here and do. No, you don't need to do all this kind of stuff. Because then what you're doing, you are just putting too much pressure on yourself. And you're going to hurt yourself. That's what it is. That's called ati. Ati means excess. It comes in every walk of life. Eating, ati in eating, overeating causes problem. Ati in sleeping. If you sleep 20 hours a day, that'll take toll on you, right? So ati is not good in anything. In the next shlok, Bhagavan tells Arjun as to what is correct, what is the right way. There are three things to get yoga with Parmeshwar, or to live peacefully in sansar. It's very important to live in peace. If you don't know how to live in peace, how are you going to die in peace? Right? You have to know how to live in peace. Have a peaceful life. And so your mind is running everywhere in 100 miles an hour. Or some people have their mind running 1,000 miles an hour, whatever, in warp 2 or whatever it is, you know. How can you be in peace? Mind has to be steady and quiet and sit down and relax. Live in peace. So, Bhagavan is telling here three things, but some people say that there are four things that are important. Now, before we go into the Shlok 12, we need to understand something. In English language, there is a word than. It's a comparative thing. And the word by. Word than is comparative. For example, this is better than that. We are comparing two things. Right? The word by is used to describe through. For example, this can be explained by this or that. So there are two words. One is than, one other is by. However, in Hindi and Sanskrit, we use the word say in both cases. Like, ye isse acha hai. Right? It's better than this. And ye isse samjha ja sakta hai. You can understand by this. Right? So say is the only word they use for both things. So in Sanskrit, and the word say is used for say as well as dwara, by. In Shlok 12, both have been used, which is not understood by many people. So next slok.
श्रेयो हि ज्ञानमभ्यासात् ज्ञानाध्यानं विशिष्यते ध्यानात् कर्मफलत्यागः त्यागाच्छान्तिरनन्तरम्.
Here Bhagavan says, Jnanam abhyasat shreyo. Jnana is better than abhyas. Because with Jnana one can exercise control on their mind. With Jnana you can become Yat Atmavan. Okay? That's why Jnana is very important. So here, what he's saying, Jnanam abhyasat shreyo. Jnana is better than abhyas. You can do abhyas even if you don't have Jnana. But the abhyas may not be correct way of doing it. Then Bhagavan says, Jnana dhyanam vishishyate. Says dhyan is superior to Jnana. So between abhyas and Jnana, abhyas is better. And between abhyas and dhyan and Jnana, dhyan is superior. So that is superior to Jnana. The dhyan is of two types. One is called lay, one is called laksh. Laksh means you aim at something like Jnani does and do your job. And dhyan and the lay is when you have seen the Ishwar Sarup and you become one with it. You lay lean. So those two types of dhyan. The Jnani does the laksh dhyan. Okay? And the premi bhakt does the lay. Because he cannot live without the presence of Ishwar Avatar. So he is there and he is lay. He is in lay, in tune with Paramatma. Totally. The former done by Jnani and the latter by Premi. One can fall even after having Jnana. However, the one who is practicing dhyan is in Parameshwar and he does not fall. Therefore, dhyan is superior to Jnana. So far there was comparison. They're comparing what to what? Jnana, abhyas. Jnana is superior to abhyas. So then, you're using then, right? And then we say that dhyan is superior to Jnana. So they are all comparing right now. Now next one is different. He says, Dhyanat karma phalak tyagam. Here it is not comparable. There is no comparison here. Instead of meaning is that through dhyan, the renunciation of the karma phal happens. Through dhyan, the karma phal tyag happens. So that karma phal tyag is superior to dhyan. Right? One whose dhyan is in Parameshwar, he needs to know karma. He need to do no karma. He doesn't need any karma to be done. Right? And he needs no karma phal. Even if he is doing karma, he doesn't need the phal of the karma. Because his dhyan is in Paramatma, not on the karma phal. If your dhyan is on karma phal, then you are done. So by controlling your mind and your buddhi, you can put your dhyan into Paramatma, and when the karma is being done and phal is coming, your dhyan is not on that karma phal. So what happens? Automatically the dhyan leads to karma phal tyag. Tyag doesn't mean you're physically giving something, no. So we understand now what the tyag means here. Most people will say, I'm giving this, I'm tyag. No, that's not what tyag means here. Tyagat, from tyag, what happens? Anantaram, one instantly gets shanti, param shanti. So when there is dhyan in Paramatma, the karam phal tyag is automatic, and then you get shanti, param shanti. You see what I'm saying here? Others have said that karam phal tyag is superior to dhyan because tyagar shanti anantaram. Tyag instantly results in shanti. But here what we are saying is, when your dhyan is Paramatma, karam phal, you will not need the karam, you don't want karam phal, it automatically there is karam phal. It leads to tyag of karam phal. Because what he does is given in Shlok 1, chapter 6. How he does this? Why am I saying this? That dhyan, you don't need the karam phal. And it leads to karam phal tyag. Because chapter 6, Shlok 1, Bhagavan said, Anashrita karam phala karya karma karoti sa. The person who is yogi, he does karya karma. How? Anashrita karma phala. He doesn't take the help of the karma phal. He doesn't need karma phal. So here what we are saying, that as soon when you have dhyan in Paramatma, whether laksh or lay, either way, lay very different. You don't have to worry about anything. So when there is laksh or whatever way you are doing dhyan, it will lead automatically to karam phal tyag, if dhyan is done correctly. Because chapter 6, Bhagavan said, yogi, who's yogi? Anashrita karma phalam. Karya karma karoti sa. He is doing karya karma, the karma which he's supposed to do, not what his mind tells to do. So here again, control of mind and buddhi is of utmost importance. Karma phal, as he performs his duties, he does not lean on any karma phal. Who? The one who is yogi. Same thing here. So he doesn't need, he's in dhyan. He is in different level. Now in the next 7 shloks, Bhagavan describes the characteristics of bhakt. Bhagavan says that one who does tyag of karam phal, he too is my bhakt. So you can do bhakti by karam phal tyag. Since he has learned the art of living in the sansar. The one who does karam phal tyag, just think about it. He knows the art of living in this sansar. What is the art of living in this sansar? He gives to everybody. So everybody is happy. Yeah? That's the peaceful life. But one who just keeps in his pocket everything and get some more put in the pocket, he can never be shanti, because other people are saying, hey, what is this? Right? So the karam phal tyag is the art of living in the sansar. So Bhagavan says, he too is my bhakt. That's why he said, through karam phal tyag, you can do my bhakti. Because you know how to live in the sansar. How does my bhakt live in the sansar is being described now.
Adveshta sarvabhutanam maitra karuna evacha nirmamo nirahankaraha samadukha sukhakshami.
See here, sam dukkham sukham shami. First came dukh, then came sukh. So,
सन्तुष्ट सततं योगी यतात्मा दृढनिश्चयः मय्यर्पितमनो बुद्धिः यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः.
Bhagavan says, Sa mad bhakta, that bhakt of mine, the one devoted to me. Bhakt is one who is devoted to me. Me priya is dear to me. He is priya to me. Now who is this? Who is that bhakt? He said, Adveshta sarva bhutanam. One free from aversion, hatred, or malfeasance towards all prani bhut. Not just one, all prani bhut. Every one, every living thing. Adveshta, he has no dvesh with anybody. And he does not speak ill of anyone. Okay? How many of us do that? Huh? Can we stop speaking ill of other people? Abhyas yoga. You have to start practicing it little by little. Just like you go to do exercise, lose weight, you keep track of your weight, don't you? Same thing here, abhyas. Resolve that I am not going to speak ill of anyone. Because we have started today by saying we all have dosh within us, faults in us. We tend to look faults in other people, not our own faults. Because if it's our faults, we won't be able to live. So we escape this thing just to be able to live in sansar. We choose not to live our faults. And look at other people's fault, that makes us feel better. I'm better than that person. Everyone likes to feel better than something else. That is the characteristic of man. That's how man works. So, he speaks ill of no one, holds no grudge or enmity towards anyone. This quality is of negative type. Don't do this, don't do that, right? That's negative. He does not do this, right? This is what is called nishedh. Negative is nishedh. Is what is nishedh? English word for nishedh? Is not allowed. Nishedh. Forbidden. Don't do that. Don't speak ill of anyone. Don't look false in other people. This is called nishedh. Then what is vidhi? Opposite nishedh is vidhi. What is it he must do? That is vidhi. According to Shastra, according to Bhagavan's Vachan, what he should do. Maitra. He should be everyone's friend. When you hold no grudge with anybody, don't speak of ill of anybody, you don't see bad things in anybody, it's easy to be friend, isn't it? Can really be easy to make friends. Being friend means to give correct advice. If somebody asks for advice, give the right advice. Don't hold anything back. Give the right advice to best of your ability. Explain things to them, person. Explain to him. If they don't understand something, explain nicely. without giving them the idea that you are looking down on them or you're looking at their fault. No. So it's all coming together here. And why should you be a friend? Karuna evcha. When you're a friend, what you do? He should be compassionate and practice karuna and daya. Okay? He practice karuna with everybody. Be nice to people. That's what Ishwar Bhakt, characteristics of Bhakt of Ishwar. This is one of the numerous guna of Ishwar. Ishwar has many guna. One of them is karuna and daya. Humans don't have karuna and daya. You may say anything you want to say, but no one has karuna and daya. But once you get jnana and you do abhyas, you stop looking ill in everybody's bad things or whatever, and you be nice to everybody, then you start getting the quality of karuna and daya. Not before that. And how should he practice karuna and daya? That's also an art. Nirmamo. Being free of mamata. You don't do daya or karuna for somebody out of mamata, moh mamata, no. Because that can lead to something vicious and take you down. The idea of mindness should not be there. Free of any attachment. So you practice karuna and daya, making sure that you don't attach to it, that person. Because next thing you know, that person comes and start living in your own house. You're being very nice to them. Okay? And you show mamta to them. No? He says, well, he's a nice person, I can go. Can I come and live with you then? For a few days, and the few days becomes weeks and becomes months. Okay. Pretty soon it is his house, it's not yours anymore. So Bhagavan says that you do daya and karuna, but nirmamo, without any mamata. Don't show attachment. Once you attach something, it comes to you. Right? Like a fish get attached to that hook, it's reeled in. So, being free of mamata, the idea of mindness, free of any attachment, so that he does not end up owning problems of others. Right? You really nice. Some people go there, listen to their problems. Pretty soon you know you own their problems. Okay? Bhagavan says, no, don't do that. You don't want to own their problems. You want to get rid of your problems. Why you want to own somebody else's problem? But you have to be nice. Because you're my bhakt, you got to be nice. And what else? Sama, dukkha, sukha. Be even-minded in pain and pleasure. Know that dukkha is going to come, sukha is going to come, but be even-minded. And kshami. If he does something for anyone and that person shows no gratefulness to you, right? Karuna and daya, you did something for somebody out of karuna and daya, and the person doesn't show any gratefulness to you, that person who doesn't do that in Sanskrit is called kratagna. Okay? There's the word kratagya and kratagna. So kratagna is the one who doesn't show any gratefulness to you after you did something good to him. The bhakt is forbearing and forgives him. He doesn't keep any grudges. See, we have seen before, You don't keep any grudges to anybody. No evil eye to anybody, right? So he forgives and forgets. Unless you forgive, you end up owning that thing again. So why you want to own all that? So you just forgive. The bhakt is so forbearing. On the other hand, if one shows gratefulness to you for what you done to them or for them, he should avoid ego in it. Oh, I did this so good to this. I did so good. Be happy with it. No. So neither you feel bad about if somebody does not recognize your good deed, or be happy if somebody did do that. So either way, you are neutral. You don't go either way. Somebody did find that, yeah, Bhagavan ka kaam, I didn't do anything. Okay? Because his dhyan is always on Paramatma. Why would he take credit for it? Anashritah karm phal. Whatever he is doing, karya karma, is based on whatever Paramatma is given to him. So all the sadhana is given by Paramatma, everything given by Paramatma. So why did he do this? He just nimit in doing this. Who is doing actually? It's Paramatma who is doing that. We are not capable of daya. It's Paramatma who makes us show daya or do karuna. The one who shows gratefulness is called Kratagya. So the Bhakt forgives the one who is Kratagna and takes no credit in what he did to the one who is Kratagya. Bhagavan says, because he is a yogi, since he is trying to yog with Paramatma, with Ishwar, that's what yogi is, through bhakti. Therefore, he is santushta satatam yogi. He is satisfied in what he gets because he is constantly practicing yoga with Ishwar. He has no problem. He is contented whatever he has. If you are not contented, then no bhakti. Forget about it. And yatatma. He tactfully keeps his atma under control. This is the jnani bhakt. He has jnana but has not seen Ishwar Sarup yet. So he exercises control through jnana. Control of what? Control of what? Man and buddhi. Uses jnana, power of jnana shakti to do that. And drada nishchaya. He is possessed of firm conviction. One without firm conviction can fall from the path. You have to be devout follower. If not, then just figure out you're going to fall one day soon. Bhagavan says what one needs to possess the firm conviction. He's telling that. For example, someone decides that he will worship only Bhagavan Krishna. Right? That's conviction. So how will he be firm on this decision? The conviction changes when there is a change in buddhi. Whatever you resolve, I'm going to do this. If your buddhi changes, the chances are your conviction will also change. It won't be drada. Your nishchay will not be drada anymore. Therefore, Bhagavan says, Mayyarpita manor buddhi. He fixes his mind and buddhi in me. Okay? He gives his mind buddhi to Paramatma, to Ishwar. That way, his conviction will be firm. Because Paramatma doesn't fall, doesn't change, nothing. Mad bhakta same priya. Bhagavan says, such bhakt of mine is very dear to me. Now, next slok.
यस्मान्नो द्विजते लोको लोकान्नो द्विजते च यः हर्षामर्षभयोद्वेगैः मुक्तो यः स च मे प्रियः.
Yasmat, जिससे, from whom, lok, prani of sansar, everybody, na advijate, are not agitated or affected. From whom the prani of sansar are not agitated, disturbed. Agitation is a bad thing. Agitate somebody, irritate somebody. Lokano dujate sa chaya. And if someone try to agitate this bhakt, he is not affected. So there are two things. He doesn't agitate anybody, irritate anybody, whosoever it is. And if somebody tries to irritate him, he does not accept it. He is not irritated in. So we say, well, it is okay that he does not agitate anyone. But if someone tries to cause pain to him, why he is not agitated? That's the question. It's normal. Say, hey, I don't want to agitate some person. Do nothing to cause pain to anybody. But why it is that he should not get agitated if somebody causes pain to him? This is to be understood. A bhakt may feel the pain. If somebody inflicts pain on him, he will feel the pain. However, he does not accept it. He doesn't accept it. What does it mean? He takes it as just normal thing. It's part of thing going on. He doesn't accept. Once you accept pain, then you're going to react. Okay? Whosoever inflicted pain on you, you will act against them. That's reaction. That's called what kind of karma? Vikarma. Viparit karma. Somebody did karma, inflicted pain on you, you do viparit karma, inflict pain on them. That's not good, that's pap. So what Bhakt does? He accepted means he salita. Okay? What is salita in English? Forbearance. Okay? He doesn't accept it, but he takes the pain and be done with it. If he tolerates, Simon tolerates. If he tolerated the pain and remained agitated within, so there's two things. You tolerate the pain outwardly, but you remain agitated within yourself, in your mind. What will happen is that if he remains agitated, the pap of one who inflicted the pain will keep increasing. Now this is very important to understand. Somebody inflicted pain on me. Right? I tolerated it. But in my mind I am always thinking that this person inflicted pain on me. As long as you're doing that, the pap karma which other person did by inflicting pain on you will go on increasing. Bigger pap then. You understand? No, you don't understand. Okay. When somebody inflict pain on you, you just tolerate it, but you're still thinking about that person who's giving you the pain. Giving the pain somebody is pap, correct? But if you keep thinking that he gave pain and pain more and more, that pap karma keep going bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay? So what you're doing, you are making another person's pap much bigger than what he did in the beginning by thinking about it. That in itself is pap. Bhakt will not do that. He tolerates and doesn't think about it. Because thinking about these things is also giving. Same thing in, you see, the person who does the nitya narak karma, we don't talk about that person. Why? Because a person nitya narak, he get more pain there. So you don't talk about those things. And when that pap keep going up and up in the other person's pap, what will happen? This can result in the downfall of the bhakt, because he is causing other person's pap to go up higher, bigger. See how tricky it is? So this is something we have to take home. If don't speak of ill anybody, do karuna and all that, don't be attached to that karuna thing, otherwise he may take over, whatever you know. And if somebody inflicts pain on you, you tolerate the pain, but you don't think bad about that person. In Satyagraha, the Mahatma Gandhi, what he said, if they hit you with lathi, you lay down. You don't fight back. Isn't that what he did? Eventually you will win. But if you fight back, you fall. You get killed. Similar thing is here. If you keep thinking about that pain which somebody inflicted on you, somebody broke your hand, you're thinking about that all the time. He did very bad thing, and that his bad action becomes bigger and bigger and bigger, and he has got to get more pain. He's going to get bigger karam phal, and you will be responsible for that. It's because of your action, he got that. So leave it where it was. Let his devta think about it, your devta take care of it. You don't get involved. Right? You get in an accident on the road, 2 people involved, call police and forget about it. Don't start taking things on your own hands. Cause more problem. Other person may have gun. That's the fact. So we have to look at Gita, what Bhagavan Krishna is saying, it's a live granth. It's not something just a scripture. It's living scripture. It applies to us every walk of life, all the time, if we want to have it done. Okay? Everything is in Gita because it is a living scripture. It never gets old. So, as the pap continues to rise, what will happen to the bhakt? Harsha. He will feel pleasure if someone will sing praises to him, of his praises. Okay? Or amarsha. If someone gives him pain, he will have envy towards him, towards that person. And bhaya. And if pain is inflicted on him and he cannot reply in kind, it will cause fear in him. He will be afraid of that person all the time. Some big man hit some little person. He cannot do anything to that big man, right? He is still thinking about that big man hitting him. Right? And then he develops a fear within him of all the big men around him, that they might hit him. It's called bhai. So it caused bhai in him. Udveg. Such anxiety will happen to him. These are anxieties. Harsh, amarsh, bhai. 3 anxieties will happen to him. If he did not cut it out when something inflicts pain on him, he didn't stop it and forget about it, these 3 anxieties can happen to him. Bhagavan says that my bhakt is free from these 3 anxieties. Harsh, amarsh and bhai. Okay? Anxiety is not good for anybody. If something doesn't happen the way you wanted it to happen, forget about it. It's fine. Just accept it like it is and go on with your life. Don't worry about it. Be peaceful. Anxiety causes all kind of problems. Health problems too, don't it? Blood pressure comes from anxiety. Shortness of breath comes from anxiety, right? You all doctors can tell. Anxiety is bad. Harsh, amarsh, bhai. These 3 types of anxieties, Bhagavan says, my bhakt does not have, because he knows the art of living in sansar. That's the key. If he is affected by any of these, it will be damaging to him. So Bhagavan says, Mukto yasa chame bhakto yasa chame priya. The bhakt who is free from these 3 anxieties is dear to me. Other characteristics of bhakt who is dear to Bhagavan are, in next slok,
Anapeksha shuchirdaksha udasino gatavyatha sarvarambha parityagi yo madbhakta same priyaha.
anapeksha. He is free from desire. Apeksha is desire. Want is apeksha. Anapeksha. He doesn't have desire. He doesn't want something. Akanksha. He doesn't have akanksha. Those who do sakam bhakti have apeksha. They are doing bhakti of some devta or devi or anything, anybody else, any other entity, by wanting something. That is apeksha. But Bhagavan said, my bhakt is anapeksha. He does bhakti without wanting anything. Those who have not yet got Ishwar Gyan or having the Gyan, they have not practiced Dhyan, they usually go into Devta Bhakti. That's the fact. That's the way it is. Most of the world is that way. When there is no apeksha, why would one do Devta Bhakti? They do for apeksha. Shuchir. Next characteristic of this bhakt is Shuchir. He remains pure inside and out. Okay? He's pure inside and out. Daksh. He is smart, chatur. He's always attentive. Never lazy. Daksh. Udasino. He remains unconcerned, tatastha. Nirmamo. We saw nirmamo. Udasina. Gatavyatha. He is free of all troubles. Vyatha means trouble. Gatavyatha means his troubles are gone, finished. So he is free of all troubles. Sarvarambha parityagi. He may have started some actions in the sansar. He renounces all of them once he gets into Ishwar Bhakti. He renounces the doership in all prarabdha swabhavik karma. Now, renouncing doesn't mean he just stops doing it. There's a prarabdha karma, he has got to do it. Prarabdha bhog, the karma that he had to do. But what he does, he doesn't accept the doership in it. That's renunciation. The doership of all prarabdha karma, he renounces that. It's happening, he knows who is doing it, but his dhyan is Paramatma and he doesn't take it up. No. Because they are prarabdha or have already commenced, he must carry them out, but he takes no doership in them. So first, he does not start any new karma. And those from which he cannot get out, he takes no credit or accept doership in them. That's called renunciation. And he devotes his mind in my bhakti, Bhagavan says. Yo mad bhakta same priya. That bhakt of mine is dear to me. Next, Bhagavan says,
Yo na hrishyati na dveshti, na shochati na kankshati, shubha shubha parityagi, bhakti manya same priyaha.
Yona hrishyati, who neither rejoices when someone pleases him. Yona hrishyati, that person who neither rejoices somebody pleases him, na dveshti, nor he has dvesh or hatred if somebody causes him pain. See here, we saw about pain before. This is how he does it. If somebody causes pain, he does not have dvesh for him. Na shochati, nor he grieves. A lot of people somebody grieve about something, right? He doesn't grieve. He says that's a natural phenomena. Why grieve? A person died. He lived life, full life. Why grieve about it? He's moved on. So he doesn't grieve. Na kankshati, nor desires worldly things. Akanksha is for what? Getting worldly things. New iPhone, new iPad, new this, new that, new car. That's what people, that's kangsha, right? Bigger house, whatever. Shubha Shubha Parityagi. He renounces good as well as evil. Shubha Shubha Ashubha Parityagi. Word pari means totally, completely. Tyagi means tyag. So it completely leaves. Tyag, that's tyag of Shubh as well as Ashubh. So he's now where? He's in the middle of the road, right? He's not Shubh nor Ashubh. Sa Bhaktiman, that who is endowed with devotion. Bhaktiman, the one with devotion. Me Priya is dear to me. Here Bhagavan is telling that the Bhakt has to leave the good also. Everybody wants to leave the bad, right? He's got to leave the good also. Because as not leaving the bad or the evil causes enmity, not leaving the good can cause attachment. And both are poison for us who wants to be bhakt. There is bondage in both. Good or punya or evil, pap. Both are cause bondage. There is no pap or punya in Ishwar. Okay? Ishwar has no pap or punya. And if bhakt is going there, he has to free himself from all that. So, he doesn't. He does Shubhashubh Parityagi. Completely gives up. This does not mean that he should not do the Shubh, but he should not let attachment come into play when he is doing the Shubh. First of all, Ashubh must not do it. Nisheth. Right? That's bad. You can't do that if you're bhakt. Or shouldn't do it. But Shubh, don't give up Shubh also. Do the Shubh, but don't do it in such a way that there is no attachment. So what you're doing? Tyag of the attachment in Shubh. It's not bad to do Shubh. The one engaged in Ishwar Bhakti has no time for pap or punya of the sansar. How else does my bhakt conduct himself? Bhagavan says,
समशत्रौ च मित्रे च तथा मानापमानयोः शीतोष्णसुखदुःखेषु समसङ्गविवर्जितः.
Samah Shatro cha mitre cha. For him, friends and the foe are equal. Okay, friend can cause attachment, foe can cause pap. So for him, friend and foe are equal. Sam Shatro cha mitre cha. He is some with both of them. He remains same to both. He doesn't change his conduct because somebody is his Shatru or somebody is a Mitra. He conducts himself like a human being as a Bhakt. For him both are okay. He remains same for both. Tatha manapamaniyo. He remains same in honor and ignominy. Whether someone respect him, gives him awards, or be disrespectful to him, he may say what fool he is. He is always in doing Ishwar Bhakti. Somebody may say that to him. Ridicule him. Apaman. Or somebody do a lot of man to him. Oh, he's such a nice person. He's a big bhakt. Doing man. My bhakt ignores both, Bhagavan says. Neither man nor apman. He ignores them both. And Shitoshna Sukha Dukkheshu Sama, who is the same in cold and heat, in pleasure and pain. When there is heat, whether outside warm, oh, it's very hot, Just everybody says, oh my God, it's so hot, I can't get out there. You can if protect yourself, you can get out there. But you are thinking within, it's so hot, the heat may be 80 degrees, 85 degrees, you may feel 95 degrees because you're feeling so much anxiety within. Okay? Same thing in cold. People live in cold country, in mountain top, in Himalaya. Right? So once Swami, I think it's Swami Dayanand, some Westerners visited him. He didn't wear many clothes, he just wore some. They say, how can you stay in this cold weather like that? He says, well, you got all this clothing, but your face is still open. How can your face stay in this cold? I can stay same way like that. So it is all, a lot of it is in our mind. If we train our mind, body can sustain a lot of things. Okay? If we get all agitated by heat or cold, then body will react same way. No shanti. And Sangha Varjita, he is free of any attachment. Sangha is attachment. Varjita is varjit for him. Is not acceptable. So he is Sangha Varjita. He remains same in all circumstances. And next slok.
तुल्य निंदास्तुतिर्मौनी संतुष्टो येन केनचित् अनिकेत स्थिरमतिः भक्तिमान मे प्रियो नरः.
Tulya Ninda Stuti Mauni. He to whom censure, Ninda, and praise are equal. Somebody praises or say a bad thing, he is equal. That means he doesn't accept either one of them. Right? Like Chakradhar, Whatever water you drop on the smooth ghada, it never affects it. Right? That's how he is. Who controls his speech, Mauni, such devoted Mauni. Mauni means he controls his speech. Mauni doesn't mean he stays quiet all the time, no. Mauni means you control your speech. The one who speaks in excess invariably talks about others. He ran out of talking about something, start talking about other people because he's got to talk. Keep talking, keep talking, keep talking, right? You run out of things, right? So, he talks about others exercising a measured speech. Mauni means he exercises measured speech. In a very measured way he talks. Enhances the power of one's speech. If you speak in a measured way, not just keep on blubbering all the time, then your speech power enhances. Whatever you say has more power in it. That's also a tap. Santushto yena kenachit. He is content in any way his needs of existence are met. He's got to live. If he got to sleep on the floor because he doesn't have bed, he's santusht. He just lay down on the floor and sleep. Because that's a need of the body to go to sleep sometimes. Whatever he's happy, whatever way he wants to get sleep, it doesn't affect him. Some people are sadhu, they say, I want to sleep on the floor. Well, that's fine, but it's not required. You sleep on a comfortable bed, but don't get attached to it. If you don't get that bed next day, don't feel bad about it. Just whatever it is, accept it. Very difficult thing to do. Because our mind won't let us do that. So again, one has to control man and buddhi. Yat atmavan. Aniket. The simple meaning of this is that he leaves home and becomes a sannyasi. That's the simple meaning. But the correct meaning is that he does not think of anything to be his. Nothing is his in his mind. His mind is so much under his control, tells him nothing is yours. He has no attachment. That is what aniket is. He understands that this body, dwelling, and sansar, the body we are in, the dwelling we live in, and the sansar we are in, are all like a motel. We are in this body because we paid for it in advance. And when the meter runs out, we have to leave this body. So it's like a motel, living in a motel, prepaid motel. Same thing in the housing. Same thing in sansar. We have to leave it. When the time comes, we leave. So this bhakt, his mind, he has trained his mind in such a way that he is aniket. Nothing belongs to him. Ishavas idam sarvam yatkinch jagatyan jagat. Tene taktene bhunjitha ma kashasit siddhena. Ishavas idam. Everything is, there is Paramatma is in everything. It all belongs to him. Okay? Here he is just for the night and will leave when the morning comes. What is the night? We are in this sansar because of jnana. Jnana is darkness. When there is jnana, goes. He knows that this is nothing to do with me or mine or whatever it is. The word niket means house and aniket means with no home. That is why some have called the bhakti yoga, the bhakt, as the one without a home. Some people said that too. And he is sthir-matir. His buddhi is steady in Ishwar, sthir in Ishwar. Mati is buddhi. Matitray, right? What is matitray? Adhogati, adhomati, adhorati, adhogati. Right? But his mati is fixed in Ishwar, sthir mati. It cannot go either way. Sthir mati. Bhaktiman nar me priya. Such a person endued with or endowed with steady bhakti is dear to me. In these shlokas, Bhagavan has said that such a person is dear to me. Why? Because he is living in the sansar following the covenants of Parmeshwar, the way he should live. Okay? That's why Bhagavan says he is priya to me. I like him. When somebody follows the rules set up by somebody else, that person is pleased that he is doing that. A child follows the rules set up by his parents, his favorite child of the parent. Okay? Parents like him. So here Paramatma is our Pita, Parampita. And when we follow his words in sansar, then he says, you are dear to me. You are a good boy. To such bhakt, what will happen? He will meet Paramatma in person. When he follows these rules, does bhakti, Paramatma will come and meet him. Now in the last slok of the Bhakti Yoga, Bhagavan tells the greatness of the Bhakt who worships him according to Guna described in the above 7 shloks, slok 13 to 19.
ये तु धर्म्या अमृतमिदं यथोक्तं पर्युपासते श्रद्दधाना मत्परमा भक्तास्तेतीव मे प्रियाः.
Tu, indeed, ye, they who, Shraddhanam, endued with Shraddha, Shraddha in my precept or my Upadesh, those who are endued with Shraddha in my Upadesh, what I am telling them, Bhagavan says, Mat Parma, regarding me as their supreme goal. So who they have Shraddha in? Shraddha in Paramatma and what he told him to do. His word and himself. That is their goal. With their mind fixed in me, paripasate, follow with desireless bhav. Paripasate means they do upasana without any desire. Idam yatha uktam. This as declared above, whatever has been said in 7 shloks before this, dharma mrita, the dharma which is amrit, whatever is said in the earlier shloks, those rules, the way to live there in sansar and do bhakti, that is dharma. Dharma means he does accept it. The bhakt accepts those things and acts according to those, and that is what amrit is. Dharma amrita. That is amrit for him. The one who follows this also becomes amrit. He becomes amrit himself. You follow now? Bhaktaste ativ me priya. And those bhakt are exceedingly dear to me. Those bhakt who follow, who have reverence in Paramatma, who revere Paramatma, who follow his words in sansar, live according to that, and do the bhakti of Paramatma according to that, he says they are exceedingly dear to me. So, in sansar, following the Parmeshwar Vachans, Parmeshwar Vakya, with utmost belief, you have to have belief in it, that this is the thing, right thing. And Shraddha, reverence in those words also, not just Paramatma, his words too, is the bhakti of Ishwar. That is what bhakti is. And this is the bhakti yoga. That's what bhakti is. With this bhakti, you become one with Paramatma. In the end, Gyan results in Ishwar bhakti. Gyan is fine, but you have to do bhakti. During bhakti, as described here, will lead to be in the presence of Parameshwar Avatar. And as Bhagavan said in Shlok 7, Teshamaham samuddarta mrityu sansar sagarat. Bhavami nachidrat partha maya veshit chetasam. As he said in that shlok, those who do this, to them I speedily deliver from the ocean of birth and death. You see, we are all in sansar to experience our karma phal. But when there is no karma left, we will get freedom from the cycle of birth and death. So you see what I'm saying? As long as we have karma, we'll have to come to sansar and face the music, reap the fruit of action. But when there is no karma, we won't need to come in the sansar. You understand? So we have to, where there is no karma for us. Our karmas are gone, finished. So, Ishwar Bhakti is the only way to become Amrit. Amrit means mortal. Amrit, immortal. That's it. So, Ishwar Bhakti is the only way to become Amrit and be free from the cycle of birth and death. So that is the essence of this chapter, Bhakti Yoga. And this is something we really need to take home and understand. Read over and over and see what this means. And how can we become Ishwar Bhakt? Because without Ishwar Bhakti, sansar is going to be there all the time. You have to do bhakti of the one who is beyond the sansar, who controls the sansar, who created the sansar. Param Atma, Paramatma. That's whose bhakti we have to do. And do how? The way he said to do. He shows the way out of sansar in Gita. If we want to get out, we have to follow. But if you don't want to, that's fine. You can keep coming back and back. Feel the pain of birth and pain of death all the time. And pain of living in between. So, Jai Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna Paramastu. And to end this chapter, Ettasyati Shrimad Bhagavad Gita Supnisarsu Brahma Vidya Yam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjun Samvade Bhakti Yogo Nam Dwadasho Adhyayah. Sri Krishna Arjun.